The Queen of Spades. It started on a crisp Friday evening in late October in the quiet town of Willow Creek, a sleepy little dot on the map of upstate New York. The air carried the faint scent of fallen leaves and wood smoke, the streets lined with modest houses glowing warm under the fading sun, their porches dotted with pumpkins carved for Halloween just a week away. Most folks in Willow Creek were winding down for the weekend, families settling in for movie nights, old-timers sipping coffee at the diner, but for a group of 8th graders, the night promised something different. Ethan Carter's parents were heading out of town for a wedding, leaving their 2-story house on Maple Lane empty, and he deconvinced his friends it was the perfect chance for a sleepover they'd never forget. Ethan was the kind of kid everyone liked, tall for 13, with a mop of sandy hair and a grin that could talk anyone into anything. He texted the group earlier that week, Jake, Mia, Sarah, and Lucas, telling them to bring sleeping bags, snacks, and no lame excuses. By 6 p.m., they were all sprawled across his living room, Jake weary and loud, tossing popcorn at Mia, who swatted it away with a laugh. Sarah, quiet and bookish, curled up on the couch with a soda, and Lucas, the smallest of the bunch, fidgeting with his glasses, always a little nervous but eager to fit in. The house felt alive with their chatter, the TV flickering with a horror movie Ethan had picked, an old slasher flick about a masked killer stalking a summer camp, the kind that made them jump then giggle at how cheesy it was. Halfway through, as the credits rolled and the room buzzed with their mocking impressions of the screams, Mia sat up, her dark ponytail bouncing, a sly glint in her eyes. "You know what'd be fun? Let's call the Queen of Spades," she said, her voice low, teasing. Jake snorted, tossing a chip in his mouth. "What, that old ghost story?" "It's just a dumb game." Sarah frowned, adjusting her glasses. "Isn't that, like, dangerous?" "I read it's a real spirit." Ethan grinned wider, leaning forward. "Come on. It's perfect after that movie Let's Scare Ourselves for Real, The Queen of Spades." Lucas shifted uncomfortably, his voice small. "I don't know, guys. What if it works?" But the others were already on board, their laughter drowning him out. Mia grabbing a deck of cards from Ethan's kitchen drawer, Jake dimming the lights, Sarah reluctantly pulling a candle from her bag, something she'd brought just in case. They gathered in a circle on the hardwood floor, the TV's static hum fading into the background, the room growing quiet, shadows stretching long across the walls. Mia shuffled the deck, pulled out the Queen of Spades, her stern face staring up from the card, and set it in the center, the candle flickering beside it. "Okay," Mia whispered, her tone mock serious. "We say her name 3 times, then wait. Queen of Spades, Queen of Spades, Queen of Spades." They chanted together, voices uneven, some giggling, some hesitant, the words hanging in the air. The candle flame danced, but nothing happened. No wind, no whispers, no ghostly figure rising from the card. Jake broke the silence with a loud boo, making Lucas jump, and the room erupted in laughter, the tension snapping like a rubber band. "Told you, total bust," Ethan said, flopping back onto a pile of blankets. "Let's watch another movie." They shrugged it off, raided the kitchen for more snacks, chips, soda, a bag of gummy worms Ethan's mom had left, and piled onto the couch, the night slipping back into easy chaos. The next flick was campier, bloodier, and soon they were half asleep, sprawled across the living room, the glow of the screen washing over them. By midnight, the house was still, their breathing soft, the only sound the faint creak of the old floorboards settling, nothing out of the ordinary, just a typical sleepover, or so they thought. The first hint came Saturday morning, subtle, easy to miss. Lucas woke early, blinking in the gray light filtering through the curtains, his glasses fogged from sleeping on them. He shuffled to the kitchen for water, rubbing his eyes, when he noticed the deck of cards scattered across the counter, the Queen of Spades face up, staring at him. He frowned. "Didn't we leave that in the living room?" he muttered, but no one else was awake to answer, so he stacked them neatly, brushed it off, poured his glass. Back in the living room, the others stirred, Ethan yawning, Mia stretching, Jake already digging into leftover chips, Sarah flipping through her phone. They spent the day lazy, playing video games, trading dumb jokes, the night's ritual forgotten in the daylight. But Lucas couldn't shake the itch at the back of his mind, something off, a flicker of unease he couldn't name. That afternoon, as they lounged on the porch, he heard it, a faint scratch, like nails on wood, coming from inside, though no one else seemed to notice. By evening, the strangeness grew harder to ignore. They'd ordered pizza, sprawled around the coffee table, when the lights flickered just once, then steady, but Lucas saw it. A shadow darted across the wall, quick, shapeless, gone before he could point it out. "Did you see that?" he asked, voice tight, but Jake just smirked. "What, your imaginary friend?" Mia rolled her eyes. "Chill, Lucas. It's an old house, probably bad wiring." He nodded, forced a laugh, but his stomach twisted, the pizza suddenly tasteless. Sunday came, and the group decided to stay one more night. Ethan, as parents, wouldn't be back till Monday, and the weekend felt too good to end. They played cards again, not the ritual, just normal games, laughed, argued over rules, but Lucas kept glancing at the corners, the windows, the stairs. That night, as they settled into their sleeping bags, he heard it again, scratching, louder now, from the ceiling above, like something pacing in the attic. He sat up, heart thudding. "Guys, listen," but the others groaned. Half asleep, Sarah mumbled, "It's just the wind," and rolled over. Monday morning, Lucas woke to a chill, the room colder than it should have been, his breath visible in the dim light. He found a mirror from Mia's bag tipped over, cracked down the middle, though no one remembered touching it. "This isn't funny anymore," he said at breakfast, voice shaking, showing them the glass, but Ethan shrugged. "Maybe it fell. Dude, relax." Jake grinned. "You're just spooked from the movies." Mia nodded. "Yeah, Lucas, you're overthinking it. Nothing's weird here." But it was weird, and it got worse. That afternoon, as they packed to leave, Lucas saw the Queen of Spades card tucked under his sleeping bag, not the deck from the kitchen, a different one, edges worn, ink faded. He didn't say anything, stuffed it in his pocket, told himself it was nothing, but the scratching followed him home, faint, persistent, a sound only he seemed to hear. Days passed, school started again, and the group drifted back to normal except Lucas, who felt the house's shadow clinging to him, heavy, watchful. A week later, Ethan texted them all, another sleepover, same plan, no parents. They agreed, eager for more fun, but Lucas hesitated. Something in his gut screamed no. Still, peer pressure won. Friday night, he was back at Ethan's, sleeping bag in hand, the group buzzing with the same energy. They skipped movies this time, jumped straight to games, truth or dare, spin the bottle, laughing loud, filling the house with noise. But Lucas couldn't shake it. The air felt thicker, the shadows longer, and that scratching was back, sharper, closer. Late that night, it hit Ethan dared Jake to go upstairs alone, turn off all the lights, and come back. Jake, cocky as ever, bounded up, flipped the switches, but didn't return. 5 minutes passed. Then 10 Mia called out, "Jake, quit messing around." No answer. They climbed the stairs, found the hall empty, lights back on, Jake's shoes by the attic door, but no Jake. Ethan laughed, nervous. "He's pranking us." But Lucas saw a smear of red on the floor, faint like a dragged finger. Panic crept in, but they brushed it off. Jake was fine, just hiding, they said. Saturday rolled on. Uneasy Mia suggested calling him, but his phone buzzed unanswered in his bag downstairs. By evening, Sarah vanished too. She'd gone to the kitchen for water, left her glasses on the counter, but never came back. Ethan's grin faded. "This isn't funny. Where are they?" Lucas stayed quiet, eyes darting. He'd seen it, the way the shadows moved when he was alone with them. Sunday night, it was just Ethan, Mia, and Lucas. The house too still, too cold. Mia snapped, "We need to find them. This is crazy." They searched, calling names, but the attic door creaked open on its own. Ethan swore he'd locked it. Lucas froze. He'd changed since that first sleepover, his voice sharper, his laugh hollow, his eyes sometimes catching the light wrong, too bright, too dark. Mia noticed it first, whispering to Ethan, "He's been weird since the Queen thing." Monday morning, Ethan caught Lucas staring at the attic, unblinking. Then Mia was gone. Her scream cut short as she'd stepped into the bathroom alone with him. Ethan grabbed Lucas, shaking him. "What's happening, man? Where are they?" Lucas smiled slow. "Wrong. Not his own. They're fine, Ethan. Don't worry." His voice echoed, layered, like two people speaking at once, and Ethan stumbled back, dread sinking in. It clicked. Lucas wasn't Lucas anymore, not fully. Ethan remembered the ritual, the card, the way Lucas had stared at it that first night, longer than the rest. Tuesday, school was out, and Ethan dragged Lucas to the old Willow Creek Middle School, abandoned since a fire years back. Its basement, a maze of dust and shadows. He'd found a spell online, Latin words, a banishment rite scrawled it on a napkin, convinced Mia and the others were still alive, trapped by whatever held Lucas. They tricked him, Ethan said. "Let's check the basement. I heard something," and Lucas followed, that grin still plastered on his face. In the dark, Ethan had scratched a six-pointed star into the concrete with a rock, lured Lucas inside it. He stepped in, then froze, unable to move, his grin twisting into a snarl. Ethan read the spell, voice shaking, exorcisamus te omnis immundus spiritus. The lights flickered wild, the air buzzed. Lucas thrashed, screaming in a voice not his own. A shadow ripped from him, tall, thin, crowned and black, swirled into the star, then vanished, the room falling still. Lucas collapsed, breathing hard, eyes normal, human again, or so Ethan thought. He helped him up, muttering, "It's over, man. You're okay," and they stumbled out, the basement silent behind them. The others never came back. Mia, Jake, Sarah lost to whatever took them, Ethan figured, too shaken to dig deeper. They climbed the stairs, stepped into the night. Ethan turned to lock the school door, his back to Lucas. A chill hit him, a whisper of that scratching sound, faint but there. He spun around. Lucas stood still, head tilted, and flashed a wicked grin, sharp, wrong, alive with something else. Evil wasn't gone.